What's up YouTube? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky and today's video is all about people getting kicked off of Turo. Now I did a video a few weeks ago about some of my clients that were calling me and people that I knew that were getting kicked off the platform, and ever since I made that video I've gotten calls, emails, DMs on Instagram, all kinds of stuff. We're talking 30-40 people for different reasons on why they got kicked off the platform. So I'm going to explain to you the reasons why Turo is getting so basically touchy when it comes to some of this stuff and the reason why they're getting targeted and getting kicked off the platform. But before I get into the video, if you could do me a huge favor and gently squeeze the like button for the YouTube algorithm, it helps me find more amazing people like yourselves that enjoy automotive content. Also, if you consider subscribing, we post epic stuff like this all the time, and make sure you click the notification bell because we are posting 3 times a week. Also, if you want to follow us on Instagram at automotive.life, I do a bunch of cool stuff on there. I'm way more popular on there for some reason. We post videos literally every single day, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So definitely hit us up over there. And without any more shameless plugging, let's get into the video. So let's go ahead and jump right into why people are getting kicked off of Turo. Now, as you guys know, everybody and their grandma seems to be jumping on Turo. It's a very hot platform. People are making money. Things are going good. But there's a really big discrepancy between a lot of the people like you guys that are watching the channel that are approaching this as a business, and there's a lot of people that are just putting their cars up there because they got nothing else to do. All the stimulus ballers that are sitting in their house, not working, not doing anything, renting out their cars. Well, what's happening right now is Turo has so many cars on the platform, and I knew this eventually was going to happen. They're going to start weeding people out. So unfortunately, all these new people that are getting on the platform are not treating it like a business. They don't care about the cars. The cars are beat up, they're dirty, they get bad reviews, they're canceling trips, they get safety flagged all the time because customers are complaining about brakes and tires and everything else like that. And Turo is starting to take account of this stuff. Now, about a year ago, Turo's algorithm actually pushed new people ahead of old people. The old, basically, people that have been on the platform for a while. And the reason why is because Turo wanted to get a big enough network of cars where they can basically handle supply and demand. Now they have enough cars on the platform, so the algorithm is pretty much reversing, and they're paying attention to the people that are actually treating this like a business. So we're gonna go through some of the things today of why some of the people I know have gotten kicked off, some of the calls and emails that I've gotten and everything else, and kind of give you guys some information so this way you don't have to worry about it. And then also we're gonna touch back on getting your rental car license and everything else, because this is just another way to show you guys that you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. Like I said, don't get me wrong, Turo's a great platform, but if you live and die by Turo, you're a fool and you're gonna pretty much just burn out and everything else. So if you do wanna treat this as a business, you gotta make sure that you diversify. Get your rental car license. If you don't wanna get your rental car license, work on Get Around, work on Hire Car, buy specific cars for different platforms and slowly test this out, because a lot of these people that I'm gonna tell you about today, I told them this 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and only one guy listened out of the group. The rest of them, they didn't care. They live and died by Turo, and it bit them in the ass, and we'll kind of go over one. So I told you about my friend here that had 40-something cars, just out of the blue, he was kicked off the platform. They finally sat down, he called like maybe 10, 15 people, and they told him the reason why he's kicked off the platform is because he had too many, get this, 3-star and 4-star reviews. So even though 4-star reviews is still decent, if you get too many of them, because he's doing a lot of trips, it actually brings your score dramatically down. So it's almost like you have to bribe people to give you a 5-star review. Well, anyways, they said that he had too many bad reviews, and which weren't even really bad, and so they kicked him off the platform. So he's been begging and trying to get back on, but for some reason, Turo does not want to let him back on the platform. I even tried to reach out to one of my friends at Turo, and he's black flagged for some reason. So unfortunately, he's done. Now he had a little over, I think, 300 or something trips or 400 trips on his profile. He was a pro host. I mean, he was killing it. Like I said, 30, 40 cars, and making maybe $60,000, $70,000 a month. It's gone now. He's screwed. So now he's got these 30, 40 cars with all these monthly payments and nothing to do. So now we got him set up on Get Around and Hire Car and Share, and he's barely got his first cars going out this week. So he had to actually mortgage his house and borrow money against it so he can actually pay for all of his cars, just because he didn't want to diversify. He put all of his eggs in one basket and it blew up into his face. So please do not do this. If you're watching this now, don't do that. Now, a few of the other people we've talked to that reached out to us through Instagram and everything else, shout out to Peter. He's a gentleman in California. He had 60 cars on the platform, 60. I couldn't believe it. He said that he's been doing really well. Things have been going great. He's never had any safety violations, anything else like that. Well, one of his people winded up damaging the underneath of this transmission of this Volkswagen, and he had to cancel one of his rides. Now, he hasn't really canceled that much, and he's had a few, you know, that the cars are broken down, but for some reason, when he canceled, it tripped the algorithm, and he got kicked off the platform. So now that he got kicked off the platform, like I said, he's got 60 cars sitting in downtown LA. So he has nowhere to park them. So, because they're usually out being rented, moved around and stuff like that. And so now he's literally renting a spot, I think, for like $5,000 a month to park all these cars, you know, and he's freaking out because, you know, he doesn't know what to do. So we're able to get a hold of Turo. We told him what the deal was. The car was, you know, damaged by the previous thing. We showed the damage, like the guy drove over something and took the transmission out. That's why we had to cancel, because it was safety related. It was service related. And Turo actually allowed him to get back on the application, which was great. But I told him right now, put 75% of your cars there. We're going to take the other 25%, no ifs, ands, or buts, and we're going to put it on hire car, and we're going to put it on get around, because you cannot be locked into one type of thing. Also, he is applying for his dealer's license and his rental car license, so this way he doesn't get stuck with, like I said, pretty much living and dying off of Turo. Sorry about that, just had to turn on the lights. So the next one we're going to talk about is a gentleman that's actually out of New York. Now, he owns a dealership and a body shop, and he's been fixing cars and putting them on Turo. He had a really good system where he would buy old, wrecked, like Hertz, budget, enterprise cars, repair them, and then put them back out on the road. Now, this works great, but sometimes what happens is when you buy some of these cars, even though they show up as clean title when you purchase them, somewhere along the lines, when you register them with the DMV, the title gets switched into salvage or rebuilt. So he did not know this, and so two of the cars that he had, one was like a Maserati Ghibli, and the other one was like a Ford F-150. You know, so out of his fleet of 40 cars, there was 2 cars that were actually salvage titles. Well, we talked about it before on the channel and even in the classes that Turo does do audits, and they will check the registration, they will check the insurance and everything else, and actual recalls on your vehicle. So when they ran this thing, they basically, the algorithm picked up that he had 2 salvage, not even rebuilt, salvage cars that were illegal to be on the road, and he was renting them out. Kicked them right off the platform. So we had to submit proof showing Turo that, hey, it was a simple mistake. We bought them at the auction. Here you go. It was announced clean title. You know, we registered it. It showed right there on the registration that it was a clean title. He didn't have to get it rebuilt. And somewhere along the way, when New York State got the title, it somehow stamped it salvaged or rebuilt and kicked it back to him. And he had no idea. So, you know, we were able to plead our case, and they allowed him to go ahead and, you know, put that car on, but then they took a lot of his other cars off. Stuff that, like, you know, they wanted certain cars safety inspected, certain cars had recalls. So they really kind of, you know, put the screws to him, saying, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that you are actually all together, that everything is correct. So this way we don't have any issues. Now, like I said, it was really good. He was able to get back on the platform, but that's just another one of the things that people are seeing, that they're going to realize that basically that you can get kicked off the platform by getting audited. Now, the next one we're going to talk about, which is kind of funny, is this gentleman that signed up on the app. Everything was fine. He had no issues, but he winded up getting kicked off the platform. He never had a single bad review. He only had about maybe 15 rides. Never had a bad review, never had any issues, never had any maintenance, never canceled any calls. And he was baffled. And so he called us and was freaking out because he literally took all of his savings and invested it into his new rental car business. So we called Turo and we asked him, we're like, what's going on? You know, why aren't you letting us, you know, put these cars there? And so what Turo told us, and what I've basically gotten from a few people, is Turo is not only black flagging people, but they're black flagging certain cars. So the car that he just bought used to be on Turo, and it was rented out by a guy, I guess, that used to cancel rides, was a very bad host, so they flagged the car. So he had no idea. He got it at a dealership, a local dealership in Texas, picked it up, cleaned it up, and put it online. But just because that car had a brand from actual Turo, which there's no way to find that out, Like I said, he was able to put it on the platform and rent it out 2-3 times before the algorithm picked him up, audited it, and then got it kicked off the platform. So I've heard of people not being able to enter certain cars because they've been black flagged, but I've never seen it where they've actually got it onto the platform and actually got kicked out later. So these are some of the things you need to be careful of and you need to watch out for, because more and more people are getting kicked off the platform. So one of the things that I'm going to tell you about right now is all the tips and tricks that we use not to get basically bad reviews and how to benefit from it. So I'm going to tell you right now, you need to live and die by your reviews. What I mean by that is if you have any problems, anything, I would rather give a customer back the $30, $40 he paid me to rent the car than to get a bad review. I've had customers, oh, the car's dirty. You know what, Mr. Customer, don't worry about it. Give me your Zelle, I'm gonna Zelle you $40, no problem. You know, people come in, like let's say your car's broken down, you can call the customer, hey look, you know what, can you cancel the review? I'll Zelle you $50 just so you don't get the bad cancellation on your actual policy. Anything else, like I tell people, hey, you know what? Don't worry about the gas. If you leave me a 5-star review and put a comment and everything else, I would truly appreciate it. And ask these people for the comments. Give them gift cards. Give them something. You know, people don't understand why we're so big on reviews, even with the dealerships and your rental car company, is that's what the algorithm picks up. If Turo is seeing that you have 7 cars and you're a 5-star rock star, you're getting good reviews all the time, people are raving about you, you will get pushed to the top. And it's just like anything else, you got to pay to play. If you're spending this type of money investing into yourself, you're slowly growing your business. Now, when you actually get your rental car license, you're going to have to spend money on advertising. Just think of this as giving out $5 gas cards or $5 gift cards as almost paying for advertising for your business, because the more you actually put into your reviews and you care about it, the more Turo will push you up, and hopefully you'll get, you know, pro host and everything else, and you'll be able to grow your business. Now, anytime somebody calls and complains or anything else, I'm telling you, send them money, shut them up. You can always get another 20, 30 bucks down the road. If it's a $200 rental, who cares? It doesn't matter. Pay them the money back, give them a portion of it back, do something. Go out of your way to make the customer happy, because it is truly getting to that point where it's going to be review driven. And the way the algorithm is working now, it's literally pushing up everybody else. So what I'm seeing a lot with a lot of our new people that are signing up, you know, we get some of our students, they're like, I've had my car on there for 3 weeks, I haven't gotten a single call or email. It's not like the old algorithm. The old one, like I said, would push new people on the platform, so this way it would grow its network. Now, Turo doesn't care. Turo is going to reward the people that take care of the customers, that have the most cars, and has the most trips. That's it. So when it comes to your pricing, I'm going to say it again. I know a lot of you guys don't want to do this because you think you're leaving money on the table. Put it on auto pricing. Let it roll. Who cares? If you one day they rent your car for 40 bucks, the next day it's $100, I promise you, if you keep building your reviews and you get to the pro host and everything else status, it'll change your money and it'll change your wallet. I'm telling you, it definitely will pay dividends down the road. So, you know, focus on some of those things. Pay attention to any type of customers you have the issues on. I'm actually working with another company. It's called Street Smarts. I think that's what it is. It's basically an application. So this way, if you decide to branch out and go on multiple platforms, it allows you to do this and then takes the cars off the other platforms. What I mean by that is, let's say you have one, I don't know, let's say a Bugatti, and you have it rented out on Turo, and then you also put it on Hire Car, and then you put it on maybe Rideshare. Out of all 3 of those apps, if it gets booked on one of them, the application's supposed to be able to take them all the way down off of all of them. So I'm going to get a live demonstration, I think later on this week, and I'll come with you guys to give you some information of what I feel it is, and hopefully give you guys a coupon when it comes to that. But I just wanted to make this video because I've gotten so many calls over the last week, and it's something I definitely wanted to put out. We were going to do some more flipping videos, but this kind of popped up and it was very urgent, and I wanted to tell you guys, so this way you guys are prepared. Like I said, treat your reviews as life and death. Keep your cars clean. Don't do anything shady. Get ready to send customers money for bad complaints, and just be ready, because like I said, you're going to get audited. The algorithm's going to pick you out somehow, some way. Just make sure that you're on point and you won't have any issues. So if you feel like I learned anything, please gently squeeze the like button. I truly appreciate it. Also consider subscribing. I post great stuff like this all the time, 3 times a week. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. We answer every single one. Not anybody else, just myself. And you know, if you have any other questions, like more in depth and detail, you know, we do consulting calls. There is a fee for that, but we can help you set up your business, if your lines of credit, you know, other things like that, more complicated questions, because I try to answer as most detail as I can in the comment section below, but sometimes, you know, some of them are very specific and state driven, because the #1 question I've been getting is insurance. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's very, very hard, and that's going to be one of the things you're going to have to try to find in your area, because every county, every city, every state has its own insurance liability limitations, and you have to find the one company that writes policies for your area. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and we'll see you next video.